Hello and welcome back to the Scout the Defender YouTube channel. Today I thought I'd give you an insight on what it's like living with the 2.4 Puma with a stage 1 engine remap on it. Let's get in, we'll have a drive around and I'll talk about all of the pros and cons to living with a stage 1 remap. Now today I thought I'd give you a run through of some of the real benefits that I've found once I've remapped the engine. So Scout is a 2.4 litre TDCi and it's from 2011, and now these engines are actually really tunable. So I've actually done a stage 1 engine remap. I've really found some great benefits from doing it. So obviously it depends on the manufacturer or whoever you get to carry out your upgrade, but typically from a stage 1 remap you can bring up the average brake horsepower from 120 to 154. That's obviously a massive difference. It makes the Defender much more drivable. They're not known for being quick, and nor will they really ever be unless you do full kind of engine swap out. But small performance upgrades really do make a difference to your day-to-day driving. Now an engine remap isn't necessarily cheap. This one costs about £450 to £500 just for the stage 1. But for that I've really noticed a difference in performance, making the Defender much more drivable daily. And generally I'm getting much more pleasure out of driving. It's not as much of a chore as it maybe once was. Climbing up hills and general day-to-day driving is just much more enjoyable. Now pulling off there and onto quite a high-speed road, you really notice the difference with the engine remap. You've got much more torque to get you through the gears, and the gears actually pull a lot more due to that torque. So through 4th, 5th, and 6th, I'm getting much more pull, and again, just makes the driving much more comfortable. Now the reasons for doing an engine remap aren't just purely about power and performance. I've noticed a significant increase in the miles per gallon I'm getting since I've done the engine remap. Now obviously you're not buying a Defender for its fuel efficiency, but it has actually made a significant difference. It's obviously using much less fuel, or is being much more fuel efficient when you are putting the power down. I'm actually considering doing a stage 2 engine remap. Now a stage 2 is much more kind of involved than a stage 1, and it requires you to do several other significant modifications, not only to the ECU. So when you're doing a stage 2 remap, you're typically looking at an increased or a larger intercooler. So I'd probably be considering something from the likes of Ali Sport, a much bigger intercooler. Obviously it's not the biggest job in the world, but it's obviously at an expense. An Ali intercooler is probably 300-400 quid. Now you also need to think about stopping power too. So as standard, the Defenders are pretty poor on the brakes, and obviously when you're putting that much more power into the car, you need to be really considered when you think about, you know, how you're going to stop. So I'd be thinking about increasing the power of the brakes, some larger brakes, if you're going to be putting that much power through the car. So there we go, that's what it's like living with a stage 1 remap on the Defender. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment below, and please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it for plenty more content like this. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.